Okay, and welcome to another episode of the command series I have on my channel. So today we are going to go over scoreboards. So let's jump right into it, I guess. So first of all, we have what is scoreboards? Yeah, it's a type of way to store data in this game and display it. You have probably seen it. It's this thing over here, and I'm just going to put that away. Yeah, it's that thing in the corner, often there, or when you click tab, it can be on your beside your name or something. And this is a score you have in the game, and we're going to go over how this works and everything in it. So let's jump right into it. First of all, we have the simple command of what is this? Anyway, we have the simple command of adding objective. So the objectives are the things we will be able to add to and remove from and add scores for the players. So let's add one. So we have a test as we see here, but we can add another one. Test 2. And then we have all the what is these names now? The tags, or like are the criterias for how they are going to tick up. So for example, now we have health. This will we can test this health. For example, this will show up how many hearts you have in the game. So if we add this, we maybe take some damage so it knows what it's doing, because often you need to activate it somehow, and this is how you need to activate this one. And now we go over to the next command, and that's how we display it. So how do we display this command? We can do it by going over to scoreboard objectives and set display, and then we will have it in the list, and this is the list above when we click tab, and we want to put it on test 2 that we created. And if we do, we can see how much health I have as a player. This is an example. There are two ways of showing off how much health you have or anything in the game. It's by the hearts or an integer, a number I mean. Yeah, let's go over to creative again. It's a bit hard to show off things. So here is a good example how you create one. Another example how on things you can add is for example the dummy. The dummy could be anything, and this is often used when you're creating a custom map or anything, where you can add your own scores and you can use it however you want. Then we have a lot of pre-made things that Minecraft makes that you can also use, like breaking blocks if you want to check anything that has with the game, like killing, breaking, using, anything you can do with this. It just search like Minecraft use and etc. You understand what I mean. And then we have, like, let's change the time here so we don't need to sit in the night. Then we have the display name. So if you want like a developer name here, this will be the developer name, and this will be the display name. So this is what it's going to show up as, and this is what you need to write when you change it. You don't need a display name. If you don't put it in, nothing will happen, because it will just default to this. Yeah, let's go over to the next thing. So that's how you add the scoreboard. This is the next thing. It's a pretty simple command. It's just how you can check how many what score objectives you have right now in the world. So I have 3 objectives: test 2, trigger test, we're going over triggers very soon, and the test. So that's a very simple command if you want to check out what objectives you have. And now we're going over the modify command. So the modify command is used primarily to change the display name if you want to add a display name after you have created the thing, or a render type, and that's if you want to use the hearts, because if you don't create just a heart objective, it won't show up as heart. And if you want to create your own thing with hearts, you can make it here. Otherwise, you can change it to an integer. So these are pretty simple. Don't forget, display names need to be in quotation marks. So yeah. Remove is very very easy to understand. Remove is just if you want to remove a objective. So let's remove this test2 one. So now is that removed. Set display we did go over, but these are the places you can see the scoreboard. It's below the name. It's when someone is in the game and you see the name before over their head, and then they can have a score beside the name. List is on the side, and sidebar is up. List is up above, and sidebar is here. And then we have a lot of team stuff that we're going over next episode. So that's basically the first part of scoreboards. It's the objectives, how you add it, and everything about that. Now we go over to the interesting stuff, the players. So if you go over to players, we have a lot of different commands here, and the first one is add. Add is just if you want to add a score to you in the objective, you can do so. So if we go over here, add to Lucas Abbe in the test I have created for us, and adds 1, we will see I have 1. If I add another one, it goes up. So this is just adding. So for example, if you have a game where it need to show a score, you can add on scores with add. Enable we're going over later, but that's about triggers. I will get there soon. The get command is just to check how much, what is all the scores on just that player we're checking out. So if you're just doing this, we can see Lucas Abbe has 2 in test. It's a pretty simple command. The list command is to check out which ones. This is everything though. This is the get, just a specific score, and this is all the scores I have. And now we will go over another important thing you can do. As we see here, I have added a test player to this test score. So the thing is, you can add whatever player you want to the scoreboard. So if we want to add like Pelle or something, Pelle, and we want to add 5 score to Pelle, we can. And then he will have 5 in score. And this is pretty good because you can put anything in it, you can calculate stuff, and you can, for example, make timers with scoreboards, and etc, etc, etc. I will go over this in more advanced videos, but it's a pretty good feature because you can use it to any range you want. And what I mean with where was I? Yeah, we're starting with operations. And operations is all about if you want to this is maths, basically. This is maths. Or if you have program, it's very like that. So we have the exact thing here, and we have our name and the test we're in here. And we see that test have 5 and we have 2. So we have multiplication. So this, in the second term here, this will be the thing we add on to this one. So it will be 5 multiplied by 2. So if we do this, I will get 10, as we see here. Also, this always sorts in amount of, so the highest is first. But anyway, so here we have a lot of different operators we can use, like modulo, multiplication, addition, you understand. And then we have this. This is just, this will set it, this will be set to this. And then we have, it will set if this is bigger than this, and this will set to bigger than this. You understand what I mean? And the last one will, what did that do now? Yeah, this one swaps them. So this will swap with that. Like this. Yeah, we swap with each other now. So that's operations that is if you want to do like maths for your one of your custom games, etc., etc. It's a bit complicated, I know, but when you get used to it, you can use it. Remove is pretty simple. You can remove scores from you. So if I want to remove 5 from test, I can do so. Reset is basically to remove me all from this list. So if we want to remove Pelle from this list, we can. Now he's gone. That's reset. And set is just you can set a score to a person, exact score to a person. So if we want to set me exactly to 5, I can do so. So that's basically we're going over scoreboard. What is trigger then, and what is enable? Triggers are a command we can use, a command we can use to increase the value. So first we need to create a trigger. That I have already made one, but how to make one is objectives, add, and then we say a name, trigger maybe, and then we find the trigger here. That's how you create one. We will we will like that. And how is this useful? That's because there is a trigger command where we can use this. So how do we use this? Yeah, we need to first enable the person to use the command, and that's what we do here. So if we use this command, we will have we will have the permissions to use the trigger command. Okay, apparently not. Wait. Oh yeah, we can't do everyone. Scoreboards, players, enable me, trigger test. So now I've enabled myself. So now it appears. We can add so much we want. We can set the value to anything. So like we will add 5 to the trigger test. This is good because if we want to do commands that are like on the player and we just want to do a trigger command exactly where he is, or it could be a lot easier to just use another command to use the trigger command. But I will not go over any very specific use cases where you can use this. But that's basically the scoreboard command. I hope you have learned something in this video. I hope I haven't rambled on too much. But thank you. Bye bye.